Good night, good evening, or if you see this in the morning by the time this gets uploaded, since it's almost midnight, good morning to another episode of Grade A Fantasies. Grade A picks on Prize Picks. Hope everybody is having or had a good day. Hope everybody looking forward to the weekend. Let's get right into this. And this week 6 has a lot of interesting props that I like to get into. So we're just gonna get right into it. I do like a lot of props, but let's get right into what I feel on my grade A's. As usual, we will start. Well, not as usual, because as usual, I normally think about the rushing. Now, there are rushing props that I like. Let's go with what I like. So, the main three that spoke to me were, we'll do it this way, do it the proper way. We'll get the Justin Fields one. Justin Fields, 51.5. This has gone up from 49.5 against a Minnesota defense. I think that's very plausible that he can get that off. Home on the road, Fields is always a threat to run. Now, lately he has been feeling comfortable in the pocket the last 2 games, but he does have the ability to scramble for that one, 20-something, 30-something yarder. Then you're on your way to the way he normally plays with his just natural tuck and run ability. But like I said, that's one that I like. Let's just go straight into the ones that I love, because what's funny is I'm not going to be focusing a lot on the running backs today, although I will, but I'll be doing it in a different way. Even though, yes, I do like Travis Etienne in sorts, there are people that I do like. For instance, we will stick with it, and hey, let's stick with the fire. I mean, he's been pretty much playing well all season. He is Justin Fields' number one target. DJ Moore, he's at 59.5. I like that. Like I said, once again, against a porous Minnesota defense. And that game is actually more interesting now with no Justin Jefferson. So definitely Chicago definitely looks to be in this game. Home or away. Chicago had the home field. If it was indoors, yeah, you got that crowd, but at least you'll be on the faster track. That game should be playing out to partly cloud, but it should be good, solid mid-October weather in Chicago. So it should be a good one there. DJ Moore, I'm not counting on him going for 230, but I'm definitely counting him beating up on a very porous and low-ranked Viking secondary. As far as I know, I think the Vikings are definitely in the bottom 5. They're toward the bottom, but they have to be in the bottom 5. No, actually, they're more of the bottom 10. So bad, but just not that bad. So, no, matter of fact, they are. They're bottom 5 against receiver, bottom 10 against tight end. So I stand corrected. But either way, they're still one of the worst defenses in the league. I like DJ Moore this week, but my first grade A prop, because of the Richardson injury, I'm going back to back with a pair of people. I like Michael Pittman. This started at 59.5. It went up a yard. As you can see here in the 2 games in between there early in the season, Michael Pittman, like I said, besides that one goof against the Rams, he's pretty much always on track to be around this prop. With somebody like Minshew slinging the ball, and like I said, this will be Minshew's 3rd time in action. These guys are definitely used to each other by now. And then, like I said, Jacksonville doesn't have the most amazing defense. They can bend, not break, but still, Michael Pittman should be able to get that 60.5. I'm going back to him. And then right across from him, who started against him last week, 26.5 yards. He started with Michael Pittman. He played about 60 out of 65 snaps. Now I understand there's a little bit of hype with Justin Downs, but definitely don't forget Alec Pierce. He plays the slot, and as you can see here, all you need with the slot with Alec Pierce against Jacksonville's defense, especially if they run on the same side and he takes away a little, and if Pittman can take away a little coverage from him, Alec Pierce could easily get this in in 3 catches, honestly, with his run after the catch ability. But Pittman and Pierce this week are 2 of my grade A picks. And at 26.5, and no, this has not moved, I think this is an easy prop. I'm going to be cheating before I even say that. Any grade A prop of mine, let's just go to, let me just get out this little section here. And we shall just go to receiving end. I don't want to do it like that, but I mean, Addison, Hockenson, Osborn, and yes, Brandon Powell, the call up. For those who don't know who that is, Brandon Powell, expect him to at least get some snaps. That would have been more interesting if this prop was like really low, like they see a nobody and then they let him get, like a 16 or 17.5. For me personally, yes. Can he get this on 1 catch? Yes. But we all know how concentrated Minnesota can be. Easily, Kirk Cousins could throw to Madison a couple of times. Give it to Hockenson, give it to Osborn, give it to Jordan Addison. And I am missing some Jordan Addison, and I said Madison easily all game, and pretty much leave Brandon Powell out. Obviously, with everybody in front of him, he hasn't done much this year. So if you want to know who Brandon Powell is, like I said, he was called up from their practice squad. But I would feel more comfortable if this prop was lower. Like, I've seen people where they don't even expect them to do anything. I've seen receiving props at like 15.5, 16.5, 17.5. 26.5 is a little too high for me. If you're trying to be sneaky, to me, this is a risk. But other than that, the grade A props to me would be Osborn and Addison. If you made me pick one, it will definitely be KJ Osborn. Definitely a big part of the offense, but with the lower prop. Like I said, I've had Jordan Addison before. I've hit on that prop before. He's a good deep ball threat, but KJ Osborn will see more slant and midfield work. So I think my favorite prop out of all of them would be KJ Osborn. But my other grade A pick, like I said, I try to find 3. And the third one that I do like here, we're going to have to switch all the way to this category. I said I do like running backs. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the running backs in a different method. And we're going to use rushing receptions. And we got to go here. You're probably thinking Bijan against that horrible Washington defense, but I'm not going there. I mean, that is a good pick. But my favorite pick is this man right here. One of my favorite players, Travis Etienne. Why is this my favorite pick? Travis Etienne is the sole workhorse. He's kind of like Joe Mixon, but just more productive. No shot at Joe Mixon. I'm a fan of Joe Mixon ever since he came out of Oklahoma. But my man Travis Etienne, I've been bigging him up ever since I first started this channel. And once he got over that Liz Frank injury, I said, watch out for this guy. He is going to be a problem. And he has not only taken solely the running back duties, but he's getting even more passes out of the backfield this year. He's definitely already on pace to break what he had. I think he just got over 50. It was under 50 receptions last year, but this year he's looking to pretty much shatter that, because every time this season. Now, here's the reason why he's my favorite: 94.5 rush receiving yards. Now, I'm not saying touches. Rushing attempts alone, the least amount he has gotten. Well, the blowout against KC, he got game scripted out. We're not going to count that. So week 2 doesn't exist. Besides the KC game, his minimum is 18 carries, not touches. Touches is what you get for the entire game. 18 carries. The most he's gotten is the upset win against Buffalo in London when he had 26 carries. Besides the game scripted game, 136 rushing, 55 rushing, 88 rushing, and 77 rushing. All those numbers that I gave you there are either half or way more than half of what that current prop is, and that's just rushing alone. Every game this season, minimum he sees 3 targets, maximum 5 targets, which means he's getting 3, 4, and 5 receptions a game. And when you add all that up, besides the game script, the game out week 2, he's gotten 48, 17, 50, and 27 yards. So he is my smash play of the week. Travis Etienne is taking it all over, and that is who I love. That is my number 1 pick. So if I go with what I just said there, it will be Travis Etienne, rush receiving yards. I'm going Pittman for over 60 and a half. I'm going Alec Pierce for over 27 and a half. 26 and a half, I mean. Like I said, his production just gets way better when Minshew's at quarterback. And I said, even though I like Jordan Addison, I mean, like I said, just because the prop is lower. I mean, literally what Justin Jefferson gets and his attention and his targets, if you just divide that up amongst Hawkinson, Osborn, and Jordan Addison, and the fact that they like to pass the ball, even though they try to establish the run, you should feel comfortable with any of those props. But as I said, if you made me pick, KJ Osborn is the one for me. I'm going to go with 40. Look, and the receiving props don't look that bad either. Like I said, Justin Jefferson did get hurt. In that KC game, he had 5 receptions, 3. But like I said, all those receptions that Justin Jefferson gets, they're going to get spread out pretty evenly. But for me, it's KJ Osborn at 40 and a half. As you can see here, he got over in the KC game. He's been pretty close in others. So that just lets you know a lot is going to get spread amongst. I really feel you should be comfortable with all these people. But once again, Osborn will be my pick. And those are my 4 people. Those are the guys I'll be going against. Other obvious picks you might also like, Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle against probably what's possibly the worst. I mean, it's arguably that's either the worst defense in the league. Denver did show up tonight, but Carolina, Washington, there's always candidates and stuff like that. But these are my favorite props here. I also like Alvin Kamara's 96 and a half. He's also getting the workload ever since he came back. He's literally getting almost 30 touches a game, 18 and 20 something carries, and then with his dump offs and everything. He's another one. Josh Jacobs is another prop that I like at 23 and a half receiving yards. But like I said, these are my favorites here. So we're going NTN for more. We're going back to Michael Pittman because he has Minshew. Alec Pierce for more. KJ Osborn for more. These are my favorite ones. And I'm so confident about that. Let's do this. Bam. Right there. We'll power play it. I feel comfortable with that. And there we go. So that's my Sunday card right there. Travis Etienne over 94 and a half. Michael Pittman over 60 and a half receiving. 26 and a half for Alec Pierce more. And KJ Osborn for 40 and a half receiving yards. Anything else that I missed? I mean, there's some good props there, like I said. Oh, now I do love the Cincinnati props. I am getting to a lot of Jamar Chase, and I'm trying to do my best to get, stack this weekend. As you all know, I play on FanDuel. With the weather concerns, I'm going to say this. Pay attention to the weather, because if that possible torrential rain and 15 to 20 mile per hour winds does happen, that goes down severely. You actually just might want to take Jamar Chase's under. I think if I remember properly, let me just make sure I just check this. Chase has a prop in the high 80s. What is it exactly? Yes, high 80s, 86 and a half. If that weather persists, and it does come true with the bad winds, 15 to 20 mile per hour winds, I mean, isn't the worst thing, but it could hinder. I like Kenneth Walker in that game even more because, one, Pete Carroll likes to run the ball. Cincinnati's not the best defense in the world. Kenneth Walker definitely goes up in my book. I love Joe Mixon as well, even more. And like I said, you might just want to also go under on the passing props for both quarterbacks. But 65 and a half, like I said, Seattle's not the best defense. But like I said, weather pending. Please pay attention to that weather. For those who don't know, that game does have impending climate effects. Like I said, it's supposed to be torrential rains that day. Like I said, we're still a couple days away. Torrential rains could happen early, overnight. By game time, it could maybe lead to a sloppy field, but it might lead to a sloppy field in Cincinnati. But stadiums have technology, drainage systems, or anything like that. Or it does rain, and maybe the main part of the storm system travels a little bit east, travels a little bit west. You just got to pay attention to those things. But yes, you do have to pay attention to the weather of that game because it can affect props, fantasy very severely. But that's pretty much all I have. I might have the time to do a part 2 of whatever else I like. Like I said, as it goes on, props even get added up this Saturday. But just about on Friday, everything is up there of what they want. Remember, the Thursday game just finished. So there will be more people added. As usual, they already have the Monday night game and the Sunday night people up there. So there's just a few other people they just have to add. But I didn't have the time to do a grade A fantasy week 6 preview. So to make it up, I just might do another prize picks episode tomorrow. Matter of fact, I will do another prize picks episode tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, not as late as I did this one, but I hope you like the vid, hope you like the info. I'll try and get you another 3 grade A picks that I like, and hopefully, hey, I mean, like I said, weather is weather. Hopefully we get a little bit more clarification on what it exactly will be as we get closer to the weekend. But once again, Cincinnati, Seattle, pay attention to the weather forecast out there in Cincy. And other than that, there are a lot of other picks, but those are the picks that kind of spoke out to me. I mean, I probably might go in depth to some of the ones that I liked, but I gave you my grade A and my grade A's instead of 3 like I've been doing. Once again, it's another week that I actually like 4 that opened my eyes and that I loved. And the fact that I power played, show you guys. Other than that, tomorrow another prize picks video to make up for no grade A fantasy week 6 preview. And I hope you like the info, and I hope you like the card. Don't have to follow the whole card. Maybe you like some picks that maybe I explained out and I confirmed to you. But other than that, this is grade A fantasy with grade A picks on prize picks. Good luck this weekend, and I'm signing off.